Hey everybody, Happy New Year. Welcome 2015 and welcome back to the Maine Wedding Buzz. I'm glad to be here. And today's guest is Heidi Curry from William Allen Farms. Hi Heidi, and thank you for coming in to see us.
Thank you, Fausto. It's just a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am actually born in Chicago, Illinois, but my parents were both from Maine, so I've lived in Maine most of my life. Grew up actually in northern Maine, a little bit farther north, and went to the University of Maine, but settled back down here in southern Maine area, Freeport area, years and years ago. Have had several other businesses before we got into this wedding barn business, and this is what my husband and I now do.
So this venture, how did it come to be?
Actually, it's kind of an interesting story how this venture came to be. My husband and I were actually married in our barn.
Oh, nice.
A little over a year ago, year and a half ago.
So it's special in a
So
lot of ways.
it's very special. So we were actually married September 14th, 2013. We spent the summer cleaning out the barn and all of that, and had a small wedding with family and friends. And at the wedding, several of our friends said, you know, you really need to think about this. So we spent last winter doing the permitting process and all of those things, and last winter and spring doing several renovations to the barn, and had some events this past summer, some smaller events, and been showing the barn and renting the barn for 2015, and we'll have a full year next summer.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
great. And you're saying that 2017 is also popping up in your radar.
2017, believe it or not.
That's excellent. That's really good news.
Yeah, we've booked for 2016 already, and 2017 is already showing up for the inquiries.
So that means the phone's ringing off the hook
the
because
phone is ringing off
New Year's
the hook.
brides.
Yes, those
Nice.
holiday brides.
So how many weddings do you do at the farm in a year?
Well, the barn is unheated, so really the appropriate use is from early June through mid to late October.
Okay.
So we only do one event per weekend
Okay.
at this point. So we can potentially do 18 to 20 weddings per season.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And when they book the wedding, do they get it from a certain day to a certain the barn? Do they get it
They
from?
do. Since we only do, we're at this point, we're only doing one event per weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They have the property available to them from noontime the day before until noontime the day after.
Oh, that's nice.
So, you know, if they get married on a Friday, they have it from Thursday to Saturday and so forth.
And what's included with the barn? The property, and is there?
Yes, the barn itself is very large. It's one of the larger barns around. It's 40 by 80.
Wow.
It's a 200-year-old post and beam structure.
It's beautiful.
It's really, I think, magnificent. And the grounds, we own 65 acres.
Oh, wow.
Total, several acres mowed and
Flat.
large lawn, open area.
And there's a pond actually on the
There
property.
is a beautiful old farm pond out behind the barn on the property that really seems to be a very nice added attraction. People really enjoy
Nice place
that.
to do getting married and having that as a backdrop.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
So the barn and the property, we have a bridal suite as well. We do have restroom facilities for the guests on site as well. So. And we handle your guest parking, valet parking. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So full parking area for
Full
them.
parking area.
That's excellent.
Yes.
How do people find you?
Well, right now we have a website, williamallenfarm.com, and our Facebook page. We also are going to be at the Portland Bridal Show this weekend.
There you go. That's the 11th, the 10th and 11th?
The 10th and the 11th, Saturday evening from 5 to 8, and Sunday afternoon from 11 to 3.
Excellent.
So
and so are you going to be upstairs or downstairs?
I'm not sure where I'm going to be yet.
Okay.
I haven't gotten my official booth spot yet.
Got it.
So.
It's going to be packed. I heard it's going to be a thing to to be at and have all
I
the brides
am
there.
very excited, and the weather looks good, so hopefully we'll have a good weekend.
Yeah, we got rid of the weather this week.
Yes, we did.
How late can music be on? That's a question that a lot of couples are asking, especially because of neighbors and things of that nature. So how late do you allow music at your location?
We ask that the music and the alcohol stop by 10 p.m.
Okay, that's
Certainly
reasonable.
doesn't mean you have to be off the property by 10, but that's a really good indication.
It's about
that
where everything's at. So
the,
that's good.
the party's winding down.
Yep.
Yep.
That's good. And do you have a vendor list?
We do have a vendor list on our website.
And that they can find that on your website and
Yes.
things of that nature.
Yes.
And we talked about wedding shows. Do you do any other wedding shows across the state? I mean, or do you just limit it to Portland, or do you go outside of Portland?
This is my very first bridal show here in Portland, so it's a big learning experience for me. So I'm certainly going to take information I gather from this and see where we go next for the bridal shows, whether we travel down to the Boston area or southern Maine area, or what other options are out there.
Now, it's interesting now that, I always say this, when I first started out in catering, we had a word processor, a fax machine, and an answering machine. That was our technology back then. And today, everybody's very savvy with Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter. Do you do all of those things to keep the farm up, up in the social eye of the media storm that's out there?
I am working very hard at those things. I will say one of the greatest challenges I've had with this is I, like you, had a photocopy machine and a fax machine, and the social media thing I left to the younger generation. But we are working very hard with that, and with the Instagram and the Pinterest boards and the Facebook page. So yes, you can find us.
It's interesting how it just all comes about. Just everything is available on the internet anymore. So.
Instantaneously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we have some photos that you brought here, and this is a view from the outside of the barn by the pond.
Yes.
And it's a great area to get married. That's a beautiful tree. And I see the benches there. And then I think this was Lori Andrews?
Lori Andrews, actually, yes, we had a photo shoot done the end of October that's actually going to appear in the wedding edition for Maine magazine here shortly. And Lori Andrews came and designed the shoot for us, and Nadra.
Beautiful.
Nadra Photography actually did the shoot.
And then I'm going to assume in that flat area there, you can actually put a tent. It looks like you could do a 20 by 100 tent there for 200 people.
That area is very, very large beside the pond, very flat, and it's ideal for larger tents should you have a large party.
And so you can actually have the wedding outside and use the barn for cocktails and dancing. So
Absolutely.
It almost creates these little vignettes within your property.
Absolutely.
That's excellent. So while they're getting that uploaded there for us, there's another one there. And there's the barn in the back. And I said this to you earlier, I love seeing the wood and everything there in the space. So I like that a lot in the background. The trees there again. So
I think the wood is a nice addition. The photographers seem to love that, and I personally appreciate that everyone appreciates so much because I stacked that wood myself.
That's a lot of wood. That's great. So that's a beautiful picture as well. Just
Yes.
You can capture moments all over the farm. It's just beautiful.
It's a very old piece of property. William Allen was actually the grandson of the original owner. So there are stone walls, as you can see there, that run all over the property. And it really is, I think, a beautiful, beautiful space.
That's a great shot with the leaves turning and that is magnificent. I love the candles in the barn.
That's one of my favorite
Love
shots.
it. Love it. It's just absolutely, the Gerbers look beautiful. The tables look great. It came to life. I love the fact that the candles are bunched in the corner there.
Yeah, the Event Light Pros really did a fantastic job with all of that, and Lori as well. I just can't say enough for their talents.
The hanging cake. That is a great idea.
Yes.
And I think that's from the name sign over here that you have on the window panes. Is that something you created, right?
Yep, we actually had a wedding earlier this summer, and I had seen that, and we did the seating arrangement and the menus on old windows, old barn windows, and hung
like
them
that.
and up against the old walls, and I think it really looks lovely.
Did a great job on that. And I love the cake and on the hanging swing there. Is that Lori's design as well?
Lori came up
This
with the
is
hanging
beautiful.
cake. I think that's a great shot that really shows the size of the barn.
That, and you don't have to do farm tables. You can have a lounge area. You can bring modern
Absolutely.
into the barn area, which I think is a great idea and something I haven't seen with any other barn, which that nailed it right there, I think, for you guys.
Absolutely. You can go so far beyond farm tables and mason jars. There are a million
And that proves it right
million
there in that
ideas,
photo.
a million things you can do with the space.
I'm glad that you guys went that route because it really shows something completely different. Beautiful.
That's one of my
That's your barn?
favorites. That's my barn. That's our barn. It's just a gorgeous old post and beam structure.
And the tree, the way that they lit up the tree in there, it's a stunning picture.
It is
really
magnificent. Yes.
Just great shots. So that brings us back to question time. So I know we talked about the time. What time can anybody get in there for setup and breakdown? So if the bride rents it from, say, Friday at 12 to Sunday at 12, what time can she come in to start, bringing everything in and things of that nature, or the caterers or the vendors or lighting?
We tell our couples the property is yours for that 48-hour time. So we really encourage you to use it.
Oh, wow.
And we are ready to go for whatever time in the morning the vendors need to be there. Part of my job as host for the event is to communicate with the vendors.
Nice.
To see just exactly what their needs are and what their time frame is and what they need, so that we are ready for you when you arrive, and that you have what you need and have the time that you need to do what you need to do in.
Do you feel that when they rent it, like say Friday at 12, do they do rehearsal on Friday?
They are more than welcome to come in and do any additional decorating that
Okay.
they need to do. You're more than welcome to do your walkthrough rehearsal
Nice.
Friday evening, so that everybody knows where they need to be and how it's going to run the next day. And it's a chance for moms and dads to come in and enjoy and
One important question that girls always ask too, no matter where they're at, is there a place that they can get changed or a getaway room? Do you have that on the property?
We do. We have a large bridal suite on the back part of our home. We have a large room and their own private bathroom.
Oh, nice.
So yes, the bridal suite has a space to have someone come and do hair and makeup
Okay.
in.
So it's an area that they could just, if it gets overwhelming, which sometimes it does, I tell this,
absolutely.
and you can just sort of go in, catch your breath, and come back out.
Absolutely. It's a great space to come and spend the day and get ready and enjoy your champagne toast and your snacks and watch the setting up and the people coming and going and see your guests arrive from. It's a nice spot. Very comfortable.
Ever think about hosting your own bridal show there?
I have, actually. We've been approached by a couple of people who have suggested that very thing. And I would love to do that, get that on the books, potentially for next late summer, fall.
Well, make sure you call us because I'm in.
I know. It's a big undertaking, and it's something we definitely need to work towards and plan for.
And the way when I started on business, we work a year ahead. I know we talked about this a little bit. Did you see an influx after Christmas or after New Year's for the phone ringing for 2016, 2017? Where did you see the most of your calls coming in with that?
It actually, we've had pretty steady calls right through the fall, and then I would say December 26th, it
Wow.
was like somebody
Right after Christmas.
turned the floodgates on. Lots and lots of inquiries still for 2015.
Wow.
People are still thinking, we've got time to do this for 2015. Lots of inquiries for 2016, and even a few for 2017 as well.
Excellent. And like I tell everybody all the time when we talk and when we have different guests on, think about planning early because things book up very quickly, and so it's very important to get your venue and to talk to Wendy's your sort of coordinator for the day, and she's also your concierge at the property, so she's there to help you and fit you with the right people. That's why she's put a vendor list together. So utilize her for that stuff. That's what I tell everybody all the time. When you go to a venue, they know what they're talking about because they have the experience there too to help you with whatever you need. So keep that in mind. And then one of the things, and one of my second to last questions was, the phone ringing off the hook. Do you sometimes, like I know at my office when it's going crazy and it's ringing, do you just go, oh my God, how am I going to take care of all these girls? And I say girls because it's usually the girls that are calling. It's once in a blue moon, the grooms will call.
The
but
groom actually called.
So I'm not trying to, or same, 2 men, 2 women, no matter who it is. It just, sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. Do you feel that?
I do, because I think one of the most special things about our venue is it's our home as well.
Mm-hmm.
We live on the property as well, so it's really an honor for us to have someone come to our property and love it as much as we do, so much so that they want to have their special day there. So we become very personally invested in our grooms and brides, and you want to give that day to everyone. And unfortunately, there are only so many weekends in the month of September that you can do that. So.
And when you said getting personal, and I've said this before, it's sort of like a temporary friend.
Absolutely.
And I hate saying it that way, but you get to know them on such a personal level for whether it's 6 months, 3 months, or a year, that the wedding comes, they get married, they love everything, and then they leave you. And then you're just going, oh no. And it's almost like the scene in Father of the Bride where the dad is running to go see her and the daughter jets off.
Yeah.
And so you can see it in his face. I sometimes feel that as a vendor. Do you feel the same way?
I absolutely do. In fact, we really do become personally vested with our brides,
And the
our
family.
couples, and their families, their parents, and their siblings, and their families. And I say all the time, I would love for you to come back in 5 years and have your family portrait taken here,
that's a
because
beautiful
you're
idea.
just starting on this is the first
journey.
big step in your journey, and I so want to see where you land years down the road.
That's a good idea. That's actually a really
Absolutely.
good take to sort of say it like that. Come back in a year or 2 years or a 5-year anniversary, and some people move away, some people move out of state, but it's really nice to have that tradition.
I would be thrilled to have
Really pretty.
our brides and grooms and couples return, after the fact, and enjoy and have a family photo taken on the property again. That would be really special. That would mean that we did our job very, very well.
And here's a question that's been popping up lately, and I just had this question at another place. What about animals? Do you allow dogs on the property? Because I know a lot of people want to walk down the aisle with their dogs. How do you handle that? Because it was kind of interesting this last sort of walkthrough I had. They sort of sprung on me last minute. Oh, well, we have 5 dogs. I'm like, well, I'll have to ask the property owners if I can have that, because dogs mark and you have to be very careful. How do you approach that, and do you allow that?
We have allowed that. We have had some brides and grooms that have, their ring bearer has been their very special black lab or whatnot, and we have allowed that. I will say we have only had a dog at a time on the property, so it's been very well received, and usually they have had a dog sitter.
That's excellent.
Someone who has.
So as long as there's somebody there that
Yes.
can, that's not
and
in
even
the,
taking the dog off
the
property so that everyone can enjoy the party.
Excellent.
We don't need a dog swimming in the pond
No.
coming up to see the bride.
So give us the last website address, and it'll also appear, and there's going to be more photos of William Allen Farm on the end of the clip. But let's talk about the website one last time. And
the website is www.williamallenfarm.com, and you can also find the William Allen Farm on Facebook and Instagram as well. So.
And as always, we'll have this popped up on the Blue Elephant page, and it'll also be on YouTube on our channel. I encourage everybody to go out. The wedding show's this weekend. It's on Saturday from 5 to 8,
Yes.
and on Sunday from 11 to 3 at the Holiday Inn by the Bay. Look forward to seeing everybody there. Maybe we'll do a remote interview there as well. So thank you for joining us today on the
Thank
Maine
you.
Wedding Buzz. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Fausto.